So some really exciting things. We've got like just so much going on, which is really fun and keeps it interesting for me as well as I think the whole team. Bole is a property we've got in Roma Hills. That's in contract now. Super excited about that. That one took a little longer than the average to get sold. We started a little higher than we should have on the price. And because it's such a unique floor plan as some custom homes can be, we brought in staging for the whole house, and that made just a big difference on helping the buyer really visualize how to use the space. And it's sold, and the buyer's buying it furnished as well. So, you know, sometimes people love it because it obviously all fit the place perfectly. We've been setting some records lately, recently with some single-story properties with strip views, both in Red Arrow, in Red Rock Country Club. Actually, it was in Green Mountain in Red Rock Country Club, and on Tapadero, which is in Topaz Ridge in the Ridges, and Peaceful Grove, which is in Red Rock Country Club. We're getting a lot of good sales prices, which of course has a combination to do with the properties themselves deserving it, and us being able to deliver on the marketing and negotiation and getting it closed. We've got some additional new team members, which is great. Once again, it just helps allow us to up our level of service as well as the marketing and exposure we can get our properties. I mean, it's when it comes down to maximizing a seller's sales price, exposure is the name of the game. And the highest number of qualified buyers we can get a client's home in front of course, the faster the better, then that's going to result in the highest sales price possible, as well as the quickest sale time as well, lower days on market. And as far as the team members we've got right now, we've got Kyle, who's our marketing coordinator, who works with all our vendors and internal staff to help coordinate and launch these new listings and get them live. Kathy does her transaction coordinating. Autumn, Adrian, and Monica are all licensed real estate agents that help show and sell our listings, as well as work with our buyers, do open houses, follow up on feedback from all the showings. We've also got, who else we got? We got Sandra, who does our staging, and, well, she's our professional stager, and she's got over 30 years experience with interior design. So a lot of times she'll also meet with our clients. You know, when it comes to new construction, I recommend the buyer should be getting a home inspection. Talked about that later. I'll talk about it again, but you should be getting a home inspection. And Sandra Carson helps work with our buyers at the design center and stuff to help just refine what they want to do to really get the most bang for their buck and kind of maximize the input or the impact. We've got Max, who's hiding behind the camera over there, shooting all kinds of the awesome, amazing new videos we're doing, both for our listings as well as our weekly Rob Jensen show and other fun interviews that we'll be out there shooting. We've got Mark. He's a newer team member that helps with our 3D showcase, the Matterport shoots, as well as getting brochures put together and a lot of just behind the scenes, you know, picking up HOA resale packages, getting out there, getting lock boxes on the homes. It's, well, that we use on an appointment basis to show the home, so we don't just throw lock boxes on homes. We've got Andy helping with copy. Eric is still an outside vendor, but he's practically family. We've been working with him forever for photos. And then we have Georgia plus the 2 other virtual assistants. So we have 3 virtual assistants that help us with paperwork and DocuSign for digital signatures 7 days a week, almost 24 hours a day, which is awesome because when an offer comes in and there's a negotiation that needs to be done, you really are best to strike when the iron's hot. And that gives me the ability to respond and get paperwork out to clients to sign promptly. So let's just say I'm headed to dinner. It's 8 o'clock. Usually eat pretty late to begin with, this busy days. And I'm sitting at dinner or about to go into dinner, and an offer comes in. Boom, George is already processing it, getting it to our clients, along with an estimated net sheet. And I can sit there, review it, get with the clients on the phone, you know, decide what we're going to do with the counter, and then Georgia or one of our other 2 amazing virtual assistants can help pull that together and get it DocuSigned and back to the other agents. So it's efficient, it's timely, and it's awesome. So just super, super excited about everything that we can do for our clients. A couple other exciting things that are going on. our podcast. We just recorded I think it's our 6th episode now. We've released 4 or 5, and we've got like 6 or 7 recorded that we're working on releasing. So it's on iTunes, it's on Google Play, it's on a lot of other audio channels for specifically your Android device that seems to have a lot of variety or a lot of options. And if you just Google luxury real estate talk, you're going to find me, and you're going to find me interviewing other top agents and folks nationwide with advice on buying and selling luxury real estate. So it's for the consumer, and I think you'll enjoy the stories that these agents have to share. Another neat thing I just thought I'd share is, as I always say, real estate, a deal's never over until it's over. Just because your home is, quote, sold and in contract, or if you're a buyer, you're in contract, it's never over until you either have the keys in your pocket or the proceeds from your sale. And what we're doing behind the scenes when we're in escrow, there's a lot going on with inspections and appraisals and paperwork. But another thing is, we have this property that's in escrow right now, and what I was able to successfully do is we get a backup offer that was a strong backup, and when the buyer came to us wanting some exorbitant amounts of repairs on a house that really didn't need all that much, we actually were able to tell that buyer that no, we're not going to do any repairs, because frankly the seller was okay with canceling and switching to this backup buyer. And that gave us leverage and to say no to these repairs, which went from a ask of $15,000 to an actual bid amount of $7,000, and the seller having to pay $0. So that's just me still working behind the scenes, working to increase my client's position of strength to, carry us through to the closing and make sure we don't get taken advantage of during that escrow process. That being said, I still recommend getting repairs done, because that's the biggest headache and the biggest problem and the biggest bottleneck to deals and getting them closed. If you're a seller and a buyer comes through and wants all this stuff fixed, and now we've got to sit here and scramble to get estimates, sometimes it just takes a while. This valley is busy with construction, with residential, with commercial, and vendors are busy, and they are not a drive-through window. They need time. Sometimes it's days, sometimes it's a week. And the last thing you want is your buyer asking you for an extension of their due diligence because you can't answer them yet. If they say, hey, I want you to fix all this stuff, and you say, hey, I want to get estimates to see what you're asking for, and they say, okay, and you get the point. The point is, don't count on me to be able to get you out of not having to fix anything. It's always better. Look at it this way. You're selling a luxury product. And, a lot of folks that were able to buy during the bottom of the market, just remember, sometimes sellers say, oh, well, that was broken when I bought it. Why do I have to fix it now? Well, hopefully it's because you bought it in the bottom of the market and it was a short sale or something else you got a good deal on, and now you're selling at a much higher price. And secondly, it's just a luxury good, so to speak. Our general homes that we sell are over $1 million, and think about that, $1 million. When you think, like, what do I buy for $1 million? It's something that's luxurious, it's upgraded, it's nice, it's clean, it's fresh, it's new. And so even if your home's not brand new, that's okay, but just know it's got to look and feel new. You don't want to fix it. Trust me, last thing the buyer does is want to fix it. So I will never stop on that, because it's just a recurring thing. I just strongly recommend that even if you're not looking to sell this year or next, just stay up on your home maintenance. Stay up on getting, HVAC serviced, occasionally getting your roof checked out. Even if you're not on the golf course, it's very common that roofs have broken tiles and flashing problems. Last thing you need is, water damage. It never goes over well. Enough of that. Staging, something that, usually we always recommend chatting with Sandra, our stager and designer, prior to putting your listing online. But sometimes sellers don't want to do that, and sometimes I don't really think it necessarily needs it. However, we've got one listing right now. It's been on the market for a little bit. I think it's about 3 months, and about 2 months in, we dropped the price a little bit. And over the last 30 days, we've had another 7 showings since the price change, but no offers yet. And you know, it's a nice home, but there's still elements that are slightly dated, and I feel we're just getting too much pushback. And another price change would absolutely compel a sale at this point. We're that close. But at this point, I just got off the phone with the seller chatting about, well, what if we go back and get Sandra through the house, because she didn't go through it in the beginning, and see what she comes up with. Because we might be able to make a few tweaks to really maximize the price. And I mean, the sellers might decide to spend a little money, and we just go back and raise the price, because we're gonna, anyways, this is part of the strategy. So that's something that isn't always critical that you just do in the beginning. You should always do it in the beginning, but if you didn't, or there's common feedback that buyers are complaining about, regroup with your agent, regroup potentially with the designer or stager, and say, okay, wait a minute, let's make a little course correction here and try and address this issue. And if you do make a change, you got to make sure you refresh all your marketing as well with sort of updated photos, e-blasts, etc., whatever marketing to sort of maybe not only change the initial image, but you change the price so it resends to the MLS. You make some you update the remarks both in the MLS, and so people understand the change, because you might have a buyer that gets notified. So here's a story. You know, there are some buyers that went through, maybe felt the home wasn't for them because it needed a little work, or they didn't want to change the countertops. Let's say, whether it's this house or your house, you change the countertops. And if I'm the buyer and I'm still kind of looking for my home and I see that house pop up on my screen again, they might just think that, oh, it's the same one, been there, pass. But if you change the countertops, you should change that first picture to the kitchen countertops, so that people are like, whoa, what's that? And the buyers that have maybe already been there and said no thanks, all of a sudden take a look at it in a different light. They may not even recognize it's the same house until after the fact, at which point they may want to come back. And last but not least, we got a couple open houses we're scheduling this weekend as well. So it's springtime, market's super busy. We got a great team, a lot of neat properties, a lot of fun clients, and we've also got our upcoming client appreciation party. We're looking forward to seeing all our clients, and thank you. We appreciate it. Appreciate all your business and letting us do what we do. And for all the new people out there, we look forward to meeting you, potential new buyers, new sellers, and hopefully having you at our party one of these years as well.